should have printed a picture.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Insight into Mental Health. I'm Bob Bienvenu, your host, and it is my special privilege to introduce a new guest to the show. We've never had her on. She will be talking about autism, which we haven't covered a lot. So, Amanda Moe, welcome, Amanda, to the show.
Thank you.
Thank
you for having me.
All right.
And right next to Amanda is the philanthropist, man of all seasons. They used to call Henry VIII the man of all seasons.
I think so.
They made a movie of it.
Yeah.
But you didn't have 8 wives. You only had
He
one.
was very eccentric, shall we say,
Yeah.
in a very strange English sort of way.
Yeah. But
And I've
Richard,
helped keep his computers running.
yeah, Richard is a computer genius, and he's a connoisseur of music and food, and he's been on the show with me. Me and Richard have been together for 11 years, as far as I know.
That's impressive.
Wow.
That's awesome.
And we had a birthday and a presentation for Richard a few weeks ago. Jalen, my publicist, was able to get a cake and all that, to celebrate. So
You guys
Awesome.
kept a good secret. I heard whisperings, but I had no idea what it was about.
yeah, so
That's
we
awesome.
And like we always do, we say prayer, And I would like to pray for the nasty person that said a nasty thing about me. And we ask that you touch their heart and take the hatred out of them, Lord Jesus. And we'll start off with the prayer. Father, we come to you humbly and ask you to bless this message to the people and give us wisdom that Amanda might be able to impart knowledge about autism and Asperger's, and maybe give the people that are dealing with illnesses like that a clue on what to do with their illness, and maybe it'll spark a light bulb in their head. And if anyone would like to pray, you can call for prayer anytime. Well, right now during the show. But I'd like to pray for Miss Jackie Ballou. Miss Jackie Ballou is our underwriter, who is a wonderful lady. And I'd like to pray for my sister Lisa and my friend Bert that are undergoing some things. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Okay, now you're on the hot seat.
I know. I'm nervous.
I'm going to ask you
debut.
some questions.
Okay.
Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Lafayette mainly. I was born in Lafayette. I lived in Karen Crow till about the end of first grade, and then we moved to Lafayette, and I started second grade at Plantation, which is now Corporal Middlebrook, I think. I forgot. I think they changed the name.
Yeah. So
But-
you grew basically you're a Lafayette kid.
Yes.
How do you like Lafayette?
I love it. I mean, when I wasn't doing good, I wanted to get out of here, but I realized this is a friendly town,
Yes.
and festival was amazing.
Festival
To feel that,
International?
yes, to feel all that positive energy and the
Yes.
music and the
Yeah.
art and it was just amazing. So
Yeah. Where did you go to high school?
Ove Como High School, class of 07.
07?
Yes,
Okay.
and
Okay.
I was in soccer my freshman year, and then color guard. Freshman and sophomore year, and then marching band and concert junior and senior year.
You got along with everybody?
I did. No, it's like, everybody's going through something.
Yeah,
and
I know.
they take it out on people, and I understand that now.
Yeah.
And it is hard, but
Yeah.
be kind to people.
Be kind, yes.
Yes.
It's a different world than what I grew up in. Me and Richard grew up in the 60s,
Yeah.
with the hippies and everything. We were hippies.
Yeah.
Richard didn't smoke dope. Richard was a straight arrow, but I smoked marijuana. We grew marijuana in the basement, got popped for that by the police, went to jail. All
You were
of that.
bad.
And you knew very well in that jail cell.
Aw.
Of course, your cousin Douglas, he outdid you all there, but
Yeah.
he straightened out too. Go ahead, Amanda. I'm sorry. I'm
No, I
talking
don't know.
too much.
I was just gonna say what got me on this show. I had told Bob a few years ago I wanted to do this,
Yeah.
and I think work got in the way, and then I got overwhelmed because I got so excited. And I
We're
burn
glad
out.
to have you.
Thank you. I burn out when I get so excited. Too much. But anyway, I was gonna say, I went to my first time in a while to the support group, the NAMI, National Association for Mental Illness
Yeah.
support group, and it opened my eyes some more, and I told them I was going to see Temple Grandin, and so many people were excited, and I was like, okay, I'm coming back, and I'm going to talk about it. So I didn't write much down, but she was amazing. She was an inspiration. Even if you don't have autism, it's like, and like they were saying in one of her books, what did it say? Like, don't the label. It said the label doesn't define the person, which is true, but I felt I needed to know my label so that I could learn what I need to work
That's
on.
where I agree, you know. People tell me, well, you're not schizophrenic. Sometimes I say it, I've just been diagnosed schizophrenic. I've been dealing with it for 49 years. And I don't mind saying it, you know.
Yeah.
You know, like the Christians say, well, you set free from it, you know. Don't use it, you know. I don't know which is worse, you know.
Well, it's like we can't dwell in the past, but
No.
the past is always going to be there. But we
Yeah.
have to, give it to God and
Give it to
Yeah.
God, of course.
and just
of
keep
course.
moving forward and never give up. And
Yeah.
there's many people that have inspired me to not give up. So
Huh?
I said there's been many people that have inspired me to not give up
That's
in this
great.
town, in this country, in this world. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I found the quote.
Okay.
She says, "Do not allow a child or an adult to become defined by a diagnostic and statistical manual label." In other words, there's been a tendency for people to say, the schizophrenic, who's Bob, instead of saying Bob, who is living with schizophrenia.
Yeah, the person's first.
Yeah.
The person's first.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
It's a whole new language I'm learning, and we took peer support specialist training, Bob and I and Lucille, back end of October, first week of November, and it was hard, but we learned a whole new language, didn't we, Bob?
Yeah, we did.
And that's what it is, I find, is I'm having, people can speak, they're, bilingual? Or can speak many languages.
Mm-hmm.
I feel I can speak many languages, and it's not with words.
It's with expression.
I don't know, because I would hide who I was, so I would like mimic
Yeah.
people that I was around.
Yeah.
Good and bad, and things happen, and it's okay. It's in the past, and all I can do is move on and try to prove with my actions that I am
You
doing
are a good
awesome and
person
on the right path to recovery.
Yeah. And let me ask you, mimicking the people, were they people you liked and wanted
I
to
really
be
like everyone. Like it's so bad, but I really do love humanity, the good
Yeah.
and the bad. It's like I was such in a dark place. I don't love it, but I embrace it, and it's part of me, and I fight it every day. And you just have to find something that brings you joy. If it's me, it's children and children's laughter. It's
That's good, because you just nailed something I struggled with. I tended to copy other people's personalities because my emotions were so stuck away because the way I was raised up. My father was he was a military disciplinarian, and that meant you got a butt whooping if you got out of line one little bit. Bob, when you mentioned I didn't do pot, if I had been caught with weed in my house, I would have been on the streets.
Wow.
No questions.
yeah.
Just out.
Well, when my dad bailed me out of jail for possession of marijuana, for growing marijuana, which was a felony, he wasn't too happy with me.
Yeah.
You know? But he didn't kick me out on the streets.
That's awesome. Well, so I went to Temple Grandin. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, go ahead.
I
You
went to Temple Grandin on Monday. These 2 books. She signed both of them.
Let's see what they are.
That was really exciting. I got to take a picture with her.
The Autistic Brain.
She signed it. I don't know if you can see it, but
Let me read
I was
something
excited
from
to
it.
meet her.
let me read what New York Review of Books. Grandin has reached a stunning level of sophistication about herself and the science of autism. Her observations will assist not only fellow autistics and families with affected members, but also researchers and physicians seeking to better understand the condition. Okay, now if you'll be a little patient with me. You'll
I'm
be
very
a little
patient.
Okay,
I'm
I'm
very
sure.
patient.
Okay, let me see. Okay, thank you, girl.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll let you go on. Go on.
What?
Go.
No, you can read. No, I was just taking a sip of water. My medicine makes my mouth dry.
I
Okay,
have
my
I have
mouth
a
dry.
question. This thing where I was taking on the mannerisms of the other people around me, is that part of autism spectrum?
What?
Well, I've read that somewhere that it is kind of like, and that's what I said in the meeting, was like I feel like I'm a mirror sometimes. And I don't know if that's accurate, but I had anxiety since childhood, and then I had depression basically since middle school, like off and on, and it just got worse in 2007, and so I was like diagnosed bipolar like around 2018. No, sorry, when I was 18 or 19. I'm 30 now, and last year my mom took me to see The Greatest Showman, whatever, and that movie. If you don't like musicals, whatever. It had a really good message.
I had to walk out of it.
Why? You didn't like musicals?
Not too crazy.
Well, it had a really good message, and
Yeah.
you can. I forgot. I'm forgetting the lyrics.
It's a musical. I mean, he had stars in the show that were different than people.
They were different.
Like the real big fat lady, the lady with the beard, etc.
Yeah, it's just. It's based on truth. It's not, obviously, they didn't go around singing all the time, everywhere. But it was an amazing message, and it helped open my eyes slowly. So within this past year, I've been becoming more Amanda. And March 29th is the day that I read my first, I had a conversation with somebody, and I was like, why do I keep talking about certain things and keep going and can't stop, like word vomit? And I don't know why. I looked up women with Asperger's because a few years somebody had said, are you autistic? And I don't know if they were joking or if they were serious. And I was like, nah, I know, because I thought I knew, You don't know until you read actual stuff. And they said this book, Aspergirls, was like one of the first books that girls and women that find out that they have autism, but high-functioning autism, that's what Asperger's is, but Rudy Simone, Aspergirls is the title. I didn't read all of it because I've been very distracted with work, with everything, I took a break this week, I'm on vacation, so I'm on TV for vacation.
What kind of work do you do?
I work at Ambassador Wine and Spirits. I've been there for about 9 years. And I've been assistant manager for I don't know how long, and the people there are very understanding, and it is a very good company to work for, I find.
What do they do?
Well, we're part of the ShopRite Tobacco Plus chain.
I got you.
Okay.
And John Dan Gielan built that company up, from scratch. He started his own gas station in Crowley, I believe.
Really?
And he just built this big company that has several things. I think Trinity Graphics and Church Point Wholesale. And he passed away 2 years ago, and he was such a great man, and he was so sweet to me and so kind. I'm going to cry. And I think his grandson took over, and I see some great things happening. And we got an app, to get points and stuff, all that fun stuff. But I've been there for a long time, and they've been very understanding because sometimes I burn out easy. Not easy, I don't know the word, but I don't know. After a while.
You get tired. You got tired of thinking.
And it's sensory overload because my brain literally doesn't stop thinking. And when you're depressed, in my experience, it
goes over and over and over.
A hamster wheel of negative thinking. But I feel like I've done a 180. I still have, but my core right now is positive, and my boyfriend Sean and my new dog Ginger have helped a lot. I'm trying to figure out how to make her an emotional support animal if I ever need to go somewhere.
How old is she?
They think she's about 10 months, and she was a rescue, and I think she's about...
She would be able to be a support dog.
Yeah, and she's a lab, we think. We don't know exactly what she is.
Actually, there is a way that my friend Kurt Trahan took training on how to get his dog certified as not an emotional support dog. I'm looking
a service dog?
Service dog, thank you. I think I've been on the computer too long.
Haven't we all?
And he's part of the brain injury support group here in town that Paul Bosworth moderates along with two others. But Kurt took all the training from the internet and got all the paperwork filled out, and boom, his dog is named Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I love it. I love it.
She's an Australian Shepherd, just like my daughter's dog, Nova is. And they're very easily trained. I had no idea about any of this 5 years ago.
I've learned so much in the past year. It's...
Elaborate.
Well, just...
About people?
About myself, about people. But when you have autism, there's too many things down.
I'm going to read some of it.
But we have, sometimes people call them obsessions, and I like to call them passions, because people with autism are able to focus so heavily on whatever they're interested in. So if they're not interested in something, they're not going to want to do it. And I didn't know how to express my feelings through words, and it came out. I don't remember how it came out. I think it wasn't pretty at times, and, that wasn't fun. I felt bad for that. But
here's some of the cognitive intellectual abilities of Amanda, who with autism.
Well, this was on a YouTube video that I found, and somebody that I think she had autism, wrote it. I don't know how many, and I tried to circle all the ones that I felt like I could relate to, and it felt like all but 3. And so I'm like, okay.
Have high average to genius. I'm damn smart. Significant split between verbal...
I didn't write that. I did write that.
Okay,
You're not supposed to read everything I write.
Reasoning. You told me I could. Abilities. This isn't bad. This isn't bad. Laura... weaker short-term memory, may need accommodations in university.
I can read some if you want.
Okay,
because I know my handwriting. I did this all in one night. I was scribbling.
You're so cool, Amanda.
Thank you. Y'all are cool too. I love being here. I'm learning a lot. It's really cool here, guys. There's a few cameras. It's fun. A distinct learning profile of strengths and weaknesses, peaks and troughs, learning disabilities, differences.
Wow.
I'm not going to read all these, but may miss work due to social exhaustion. I've been in retail for a very long time, and the general public is nice, but sometimes there are some people that are having a bad day. They're having a bad day. That's how I look at it, and I used to take it personally, and now I don't. I'm just like, it's okay. I try to be kind.
I worked the blind vending stand for 2 years at University Medical Center, and we had one man that kept coming down in a surgical gown and garb, and he was trying to cop a free meal off of us. And then the day came when the boss wasn't there, and we couldn't find where all the drink orders were, and people were getting mad at us, and I was getting all stressed out to the max.
Yeah.
And I went through college where I flunked out. I couldn't take more than 1 class at a time. I had 4. And this is higher math, and it just escaped my brain. And I thought, what's wrong with me? Well, my neurologist, who's no longer around, said that I learned differently. And I said, why? He said, you were in an incubator for 6 months at 100% oxygen. Your brain had scar tissue there from all the oxygen. And I go, oh.
Yeah,
okay.
Richard is a highly intelligent guy too, man. You know.
So I tend to obsess about fixing computers. I get so single-tracked on it that sometimes I forget to take a break and eat. So I've had to slow down the computer train, say, hey, time to walk away from this crazy thing. Go outside, take a walk. Don't have a dog to walk again yet, but I walked down the street down to Office Depot the other day. Totally changed my perspective on all the little niggling things about the computer.
Mm-hmm.
I had to just change that whole frame of reference.
Which brings to mind, that that's a good point you put, Rich. You brought up. How do you defrag your mind, Amanda?
Defrag it?
Yeah, like you said, when you have obsessive thinking, or you know.
Don't they call that cognitive behavioral therapy?
Well, some of it is cognitive behavioral.
Some of it. This was something I wanted to read, and it's in all caps. History. This is part of the autism. History of many doctors and counselors' visits throughout university life without any significant improvement. That happened a lot, and I didn't reach out enough and say, this is what I need to feel better, you know. And I would just try to do it on my own, and we see some people saw where that got me. But it's, you know, we're moving on, and I only see positive, awesome things in my future, and this is part of it, like getting to spread my story and talk about whatever. And like I said, March 29th, I say I've studied it. I haven't finished a single one of these books because I've been so distracted with trying to find myself, and I'm starting a little art project, a few, but I'm finishing them as I go along, but I am bouncing from different things because it's so hard for me to focus.
Mm-hmm.
I am on medication. I fought that for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Even got off of it all together one time without telling anybody. One person knew, and that didn't end too well. But I am on like the right dosage right now. I find I may need to change it in the future, like Denver says.
Right.
The medicine merry-go-round is fun.
Yeah.
Being sarcastic.
Yes.
But it is worth it. But you have to open your mouth and say, hey, look, this is not working for me, and I never did that. And so I'm trying to like tell anybody out there that needs a little assistance. We all need a little help sometimes.
Yeah.
Some more than others, and it's okay to ask for help. It's okay. So I'm just, Temple Grandin inspired me, and I do want to, go and talk and like help other people, because I learned a lot, and I went up there to ask a question, and it was so embarrassing because I had all these questions I wanted to ask, and I should have written one down. And I get up there, I'm like, "Hi, I'm Amanda. I'm 30. I just got a dog." Like I didn't have a question because I'm always. I don't know if this happens to everybody too, but when you're depressed, like it is. I hate to say this, but it makes you selfish, right? I find, for me, it made me selfish because I literally couldn't think about anybody but myself. And that hurt me and many others. But I am doing good. I'm on the path to recovery. I'm doing healthy things. I just went to my first meeting for the hibiscus, what is it called? The Hibiscus Society of Acadiana, I don't know.
Really?
And it's so fun. And I'm learning, because that was my favorite thing in science, was classifying.
Really?
Yes, and the flowers and they classify and they hybridize these flowers, and they're so pretty. And I know I'm rambling, but they all connect, right? So hibiscus, sloths are my favorite animal, sloths and owls. Sloths eat hibiscus. It's like, my brain connects so many things, and I never understand how to say it out loud to people when I'm around more than one. I feel comfortable here because there's not like a big audience. That's coming. I'm just kidding. One day. Anyway, I just, this is all my experience. What I've done isn't going to help every single person.
But it might give people ideas.
Or inspire somebody, because
Yeah.
I think we all have a creative side. It's just hiding, like I used to say, hiding in my little toe.
Okay, that's it. I didn't have art for creativity, but I loved photography. I got bit by that bug in junior high school.
One of my good friends, Amanda, not me, but I have a good friend named Amanda that is a photographer, and she
Really?
takes some amazing pictures. Continue.
I did black and white and learned how to develop film, and turned out my photography instructor just absolutely admired Angel Adams, who was a black and white photographer back in the 20s. He would send a whole pack of mules up in the mountains and hang over a ledge with these big 8x10 cameras, and came out with the most extraordinary pictures. Well, that's what my instructor admired, so I kind of picked up from him. And these cell phones, even though I'm legally blind, they let me have a nice big viewfinder now.
Yeah, Richard could take amazing pictures.
That's also, I
So
can't wait to see some.
The picture I took of Chloe.
Yeah.
And then my daughter, she does the artistic side and can paint a 15-foot mural at Como High School.
I saw that. I saw a
mean-
picture of it, and the frog looks so realistic. It's amazing.
I know, and she did this with no projection or anything, and she has a little bit of autism too.
Mm-hmm.
Where mine came from, I don't know.
Richard, let
but
me ask you something.
Yeah.
Do you think I have a little bit of autism?
Not, maybe just a little
More schizophrenic than anything.
more schizophrenic.
I think-
tend to get obsessive about, well, like this laptop I'm working on. I can't seem to let it go because I just get so single-mindedly intent. And Marilyn, who is my job agent, pointed this out too. I tend to repeat myself.
I do
the
this
same
a lot.
story a lot, and
Yeah.
I go, where does that come from? And she said, have you been tested for autism? So I'm still learning about all this. So tonight's
It's
a learning.
fascinating.
I love reading about the brain.
I got this one. That one's kind of more about,
Wow.
it's called Outsmarting Autism by Patricia Limmer. Again, have not read all of it, obviously. I got this a few weeks ago. But it has different chapters, and that, just by reading the chapters, was like, I've always had stomach issues, like acid reflux, and when I get anxious, we didn't know that's what it was, that I was anxious, and I would make myself sick. Like,
Wow.
Yeah.
very sick sometimes if I was that nervous and stressed out.
Yeah.
And so digestion is a part of this.
Yeah. I had that too a little bit.
They talk about hormones, detoxing the bad stuff out, and I've been exercising more and just, going with the flow this week since I've been off.
Yeah.
I do understand that it's better to have structure.
Yes.
And so I've been rearranging my phone, trying to organize my phone, because what do I have all the time? My phone, and I use it to do my new business that I kind of started, but it's called Sweet Moments.
Yeah.
And it's, the tagline is greeting cards handmade with love, and I plan on doing other things, but my mom and dad bought me a Cricut machine a few years ago, and I got, really down and got mad at myself and I jump from A to Z, and I'm having to, my brain still tries to do that, and I have to say no, go back. And I try to do too much at one time. And that's when I burn out, because when I do feel good, I do get really excited, because it's a rare occasion to feel that good. So I know it does come across as erratic. I'm very aware of that, and I know I am very intense and bother people sometimes because I'm so and I'm not focused enough. I'm trying. I am focused more.
Wow.
And so I have been able to journal. Where did I put that? Did I put that journal somewhere? Oh, it's under here. I went to Five Below in the new shopping center, guys. And it says Inner Ramblings, and it's a journal. And I've been told by every single person that I've seen that I'm supposed to journal, right? Well, when I
Yeah.
wasn't feeling good,
Yeah.
I don't want to journal. This has writing prompts, and different things to get you started and to think. It has something you can write a letter to somebody and you can tear it out and burn it, or you can tear it out and give it to them. You know, it was like, I don't know how much it was, but it's $5 below, so $5 or less.
That's a good idea, because I always wondered what a prompt was, and you now explained it, and they talk about this at the Writers Guild of Acadiana, which we missed last month.
Yeah.
Fourth Tuesday of each month, and my friend Sudie Landry is the president, organizer, and gonna have to get back to it. It's at
Yeah, I'm gonna have to call Sudie.
Yeah.
7 o'clock at night.
What time is it?
7 p.m. at night, the fourth Tuesday of each month.
Yeah.
Barnes and Nobles.
And also, our support group, NAMI Support, meets the, go ahead, Richard.
Go ahead, Mom.
The first and third Sundays of the month at the First Lutheran Church off of Settlers Trace behind Academy.
I think it's behind Coles, but it's that road on the side in between. Yeah.
Yeah. And me and Richard also meet on the corner of Taft and Stewart Streets. That's in Lafayette downtown. You pass by Borden's on Jefferson, and you go down headed toward Pinhook. And when you come to Taft Street, you take a left. And you go to the first block, and that's Stewart Street, and the building on that corner is the Extra Mile. And
that's from 1:15 to 2:15, the second and fourth Tuesdays of each month.
I didn't know they had another one. That's cool.
You could come on too.
If I'm not working. If I'm not working. Are we? What's next?
This is what I want to ask you.
Yes,
Okay.
I'm better with questions because I will just keep rambling.
Okay. Let me explain to you, ladies and gentlemen, a little bit about myself. First of all, I wrote this book, Mental Illness, God, and Healing, and when I was struggling with schizophrenia, I had nobody to help me. Nobody cared about me. You know, my mom cared about me, but that's it. You know, I've been abused all my life, rejected all my life, made fun of all my life. But you know, this fella Mike Fuseli led me to the Lord in 1990 when I was working as a dishwasher. You know, half out of my mind with schizophrenia, and I gave my life over to Jesus, and life has gotten a lot better, you know. I still deal with the illness, but I have a life, you know.
That's awesome.
And I want to know, has spirituality helped you in your life?
For a while it didn't, because I was so angry. But I do interpret the world differently. I'm not the biggest fan of organized.
Yeah, I don't
I
blame
hate
you.
saying that out loud.
I don't blame you.
But I do have faith, and I do have hope, and I do have, you know, and I did find God in my own way. And it's with nature, with flowers, you know, and I don't know how else to explain it. When I go too far into it, I get myself in trouble. So, but I did, you know,
It helps.
find God. It helped a lot, yeah.
It helps a lot.
There's a book I just got done reading called Wrestling with Your Inner Angels by a lady who is
I have a technical problem.
Huh?
I need to sneak in.
board certified.
Technical problems.
Board certified psychologist and also a nun, and she
We have a
wrote about
technical problem.
Facebook.
We're not on Facebook.
Facebook is having technical problems. It's actually not working. If you can go to AOCinc.org, go to live streams channel 1. It's perfect, no problems. Everything's working with that one.
That's awesome.
So
Thank you.
Great. Would you repeat that again, Lucy?
go to AOCinc.org, live streams channel 1, and then you can watch it.
Okay. Thank you, Lucy.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lucy.
I love your earrings. They're awesome. So are we doing? I don't know. I don't know the show. Continue. You were
This
talking.
book-
Well,
you were talking.
like I was saying, my spiritual, like in some of the 10-step groups that they have out there, they always talk about your higher power. And because I got into my higher power, I was able to function as a regular human being, like Asperger's and autism. Schizophrenia is a mind thing,
A brain
And,
is-
and
yeah.
brain disorder, it's one of the worst too,
Because it's invisible, and people that haven't been that far down in the darkness, which I think everybody has at some point in their life. I mean,
Of course.
and
Yes,
everybody goes
yes,
through stuff.
yes.
We all have trials, burdens, But the ones that are invisible are the ones that aren't understood as much, because the ones that you can see, like, you can see it, and so you understand they're in pain. And I understood that more than the pain I had,
Right.
So
Yeah, like a broken arm. People can
People can
emphasize
see
with a
a
broken
cast.
arm or heart problems, but they don't see the mental illness, and so they don't react to it really favorably to it, and that's why we've had so much trouble getting our Congress and our politicians to vote for bills to help the brain challenged people,
Exactly.
and there's some other illnesses that are kind of invisible too, but
Epilepsy,
yeah, it's
diabetes.
the ones that are invisible are real.
They're just not there visibly, and people are, like what Dr. Grandin said, a lot of people are visual. They go on outward appearance and make false assumptions. I got picked on because I was so small and underdeveloped as a kid, because I was stuck in an incubator for half a year. Born
You okay?
3 months early, 1 pound, 12 ounce, and this is back in '53, to a mother that I didn't find out until last year was only 16.
Wow.
And of course, you can imagine the stigmatization she underwent. Her father was a financier and taught journalism. Not journalism, I don't think it was grandfather, but her father was a police forensics photographer in Springfield, Illinois. And he apparently had very high standards for the family image. And when I came popping along, boom, she was blacklisted. But she adopted me out. And I grew up with depression because living in Seattle with perpetual drizzle and the clouds falling down, it
I
looked
can't
like
imagine that.
I had pretty serious depression, and there was no discussion of mental health in my family. I thought it was just normal to sit there and look all gloomy for the whole day, couldn't play
Yeah, the
outside.
seasonal affective.
Seasonal affective disorder, big time.
Yeah.
And then when I flunked out of college, that was the end of hope for me from my dad's perspective. He thought, "What's wrong with you?" I said, "I don't know."
Yeah.
Until Dr. Martinez said, "Richard, your brain's wired differently." And I said, "Why do I keep repeating myself? Why can't handle more than one college course at a time? I mean, am I dumb? Am I slow?" And he said, "None of that. You just think differently." Well, that just added to my depression when I flunked out of college, and finally I realized I didn't even know who I was. And Amanda, I'm relating a lot to what you're saying, because I would immolate a lot of people around me. My real self is this little thing in the middle, all the false, and then we learned this in outpatient therapy. I had built up a big mask, so to speak. And I still get very obsessive and very narrowly focused on computer stuff, but sometimes I just don't know when to quit and let it go and move on.
That's why time management is.
Time management.
I'm working on it.
Me too. Music is a big thing for me. I grew up in the '60s in Seattle, and Jimi Hendrix was the big rock idol. So I heard Purple Haze and Hey Joe and all that. A lot of my friends were getting stoned. Some died, unfortunately, of overdoses. Vietnam was the big thing. A lot of my friends came back from the draft totally met it
Zonked
out,
zonked out.
sleeping 22 out of 24 hours. I thought,
Wow.
what's our government doing to our guys and gals that had come back from Nam? And I remember the peace demonstrations that blocked in
You see,
Interstate
Richard,
5.
I would have remembered the peace demonstrations and all that too, but I was so stoned on marijuana
Yeah, you were
that I
stoned.
missed it all.
I didn't
You're so goofy.
participate, but and here they are finding out some of these drugs or herbs may be eventually helpful for some of these mental health brain disorders. But it's taking a lot of research. You just don't want to go token down the road and get high and find out it's going to mess up with your meds. You don't want to be doing that. No
Yeah.
way.
But I have heard. Sorry.
The thing about cannabis is being researched as we speak. So hopefully some good will come out of all that. But, for right now, just be real careful. I mean, because you get the wrong a lot of your herbs are pretty potent stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If I took too much of, what's one I heard of? St. John's wort.
I've heard of that one.
I can't go near it. I tried it.
I heard you have to be very careful with that one, so I never tried it.
I tried a little bit, and it was not a good picture. It
Yeah.
just left me brain fog for about a week. It was just a small portion, and just because my brain's wired up differently, apparently that's how it tried to figure out what this stuff was. So I'm chemically medication sensitive. If the doctor says, I'm going to put you on 150 milligrams, I say, Doc, you might want to cut that in half or a third before I even consider taking it. I learned the hard way. So, we're learning to become experts on our mental health conditions, but we're going to make mistakes and we just got to pick up, start over. I love to watch classic rock documentaries. That's my escape. Or The Who, Doctor Who, I'm sorry. There's another
Doctor
group called-
Who.
There's also a group called The Who, and then the
Yeah.
Guess Who. The Rolling Stones are performing in New Orleans this year, by the way, I just found out.
Mm-hmm.
But there is a certain thing about the 60s music that just brought it down to basics and reappreciating nature and flowers and peace, love, harmony. The whole Woodstock thing's coming up again, 50 years.
My bands, this generation, 21 Pilots has done some amazing things.
Yeah.
Tyler Joseph and Josh Dunn, I think. They're the group 21 Pilots, and he obviously, I love music, and I sometimes speak in lyrics or TV quotes or movie
Yeah.
quotes because
Yeah.
that's how I related to humans. I know I'm human, but that's what I call it sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And because I didn't understand the dynamics, and that's why one of my passions was psychology. And I think that scares people sometimes because I do know a lot about psychology, and I swear I don't use it to, I use it for good, And what was I saying? I do that sometimes. I
Have you
lose my
heard
train
of
of
a
thought.
band called Blue October?
Yes, I remember hearing.
No, you're talking about the Pilots.
21 Pilots, yes,
Yeah.
thank you. When you listen to his lyrics, like somebody texted me the other day, she's like, my son listens to this song, what does it mean? I'm like, this is what the internet says, this is what I think. And I think if your children are listening to music, read the lyrics. If they are intelligent, yes, it is about the beat probably for a lot of people, but the lyrics do mean something, and maybe not everything, but music has a way of touching people, and
Oh, it does.
their shows are so amazing. I went to one, and it was awesome, and they
They're
were
a
so
well-known.
energetic.
They're a well-known group.
Oh yeah, they're pretty popular now with, a lot of people. My younger brothers. Okay, so I'm the oldest of 6.
Mm-hmm.
30, 29, forgive me, 25, 26, I don't know. 18, 17, 15, I believe. And the younger ones, like my little brother they love 21 Pilots. Or so they tell me, But we like listening to it together.
What kind of music do they play? Rock?
I don't even know how to describe it, but it sounds like he's rapping, but he's just talking really fast. And I like listening to people that can talk fast because my brain can keep up. It's when I try to do it, my mouth cannot keep up with this, right? And so I think I met a few friends online that have some similar issues. Aphasia. What's that?
It's
one?
like dyslexia of speech. When the words get all scrambled up, it's all in here. My friend who had a central brain tumor, Becky Straza, has aphasia. When they removed most of the tumor.
Yeah.
The only time it doesn't happen is when she sings. But you could try to get her to talk normally. It's just, you know, it goes so fast you can't. The tongue can't keep up with the brain. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I slip up a lot. It's when I stop thinking that I can do it. But I think too much, and it's really hard to sometimes just. I need to start yoga or something.
Yoga's good.
To start like sitting in silence, which I can, but like right now, I'm listening to the Lord of the Rings soundtrack. You know, orchestral, because I love that, and it brings back good memories, and I miss playing in the band. I have my flute still, but it needs to be repatted. Yeah, I play the flute, or did, but every time I pull it out, it sounds bad because it needs to be repatted. It's pretty old. It's my aunt's. And the oboe. I said before I die, I will buy an oboe on eBay or something and play it again. And my aunt says it sounds like a dying cow, but I love it. I love being different, right?
Yeah.
And for a while, I didn't love it, but I do love it now. I was gonna say something else about all of this. Just start letting people, let your kids do what they need to do. But I learned this from Temple Grandin, so don't take my word for it. Limit the screen time. She said it, not me, but I know it's a good thing. They said, what did she say? Like, I don't know, an hour a day, and then maybe an extra on the weekend, or
are you talking about
less.
TV?
Phones, like the social media is making this worse. Like, that's my personal opinion, because of the stigma, but because of the people not being kind to each other, because people not understanding each other, and it's just like, come on, guys. We're all human. We all have a brain. Some of us have a harder time, and some of us are affected more and are a little more sensitive to words, to violence, to things, right? And some people can handle it better, and some people can't, right? And the people that can't are the ones that, not that we can't handle it, right? Because we're still here. So we can handle it.
It makes a lot of sense.
We can, but
there's a lot of chaos going on.
It takes us a little longer sometimes to get to where we need to be. So, last thing that I would like to say, because I don't know what time it is.
We got it.
I would like to thank every single person in my life, like, even if I didn't like you very much, you know, because I do love everyone. God made whatever's up there. I call it God, you know, made all of us, right? And we are all similar, but very different, because we all have different brains, and we've all had different experiences and different things that we've gone through, and it's okay. And we just have to be a little more understanding, I think, of people, because we're being stressed out. Like, you have to keep up with everybody. I was a peer mediator at Paul Bro. Okay, I did not know why they picked me, but when people would say that you are this, I became that, and so I took it upon myself to be the peer mediator between, because I relate better to older people and younger people. In my generation, it's very hard to find people I relate to. It's getting easier now, but what I was saying, sorry.
So what is a peer mediator?
Oh, so I went to Paul Bro, and so when they would have verbal fights, you know, they would between two people, they would put them in a room with, I think, 3 of us, and I was one of them sometimes, and we would have to say, okay, what happened? Let's hear your side. What happened? Let's hear your side. And, you know, let's come up with a compromise and try to not hug it out. Some people didn't want to hug, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it was just trying to get the other person to understand this person and vice versa. Wow. And I put myself in between a lot of people. One of my therapists, I said, I'm always in the middle of everything. And she said, well, don't you think you put yourself there? And I'm like, no. And then I said, yes, probably so. Subconsciously, I do, right? Once I thought about it, it takes me a few days sometimes for stuff to sink in. And so that's why I have been trying to be more quiet in certain places, because my mouth does get me in trouble sometimes, because I have a hard time putting into words. Like, I'm much better with writing. I wrote a few poems last week, and it's all coming out, and I'm really excited to see where the future leads. So I don't know.
You have a poem you could read to us?
Oh, I don't have it now. No,
Okay.
I'm not ready to share that yet.
Take
But
your
one
time.
day,
One
baby
day.
steps.
Are you thinking of writing a book on your life? How your mind works?
Yes, because I love books. I love reading. I love learning. And I don't learn as much anymore because I don't have a structured school, or, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I kind of lost some of that, and it's all coming back. Celine Dion song. It's all
Are you
coming
thinking of
back.
going back to college?
I thought about it because I do love psychology. I would like to work with children in some fashion, because I do think if you can help kids understand their feelings and how to express them in a healthy manner, some things may not happen in their adulthood. You know, you can't prevent things. Things will happen.
Yeah.
But I think it might make it easier if they have somebody that's unbiased to talk to. I refused to go the first time my mom asked me to go. And I kind of wish that I wouldn't have said that, you know, because when I turned 18, I took it upon myself to do things my way. And, you know. But
Your
it's all
mom and
good.
dad are still alive?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're in Lafayette. They're amazing.
What
An
does your dad do?
amazing example of love. Hold on, he's going to kill me if I can't remember this name. MBI Industries.
4.5 minutes.
4.5 minutes, she said.
Wow.
But I think that's where he works now. He's a salesman. He's very good at what he does. My mom is homeschooling my younger brothers right now. Well,
Awesome.
it's summer break.
Awesome.
But they go to a co-op sometimes, so it's like they're with other kids. And
Oh, we're gonna
Got
call.
another-
oh
Oh.
goodness gracious, I think I know who that is.
Yes, caller.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello, please.
Can
I just wanted to let Amanda know that I love her. This is her mom, and I'm very proud of her. And I wanted her to address how art has helped her to handle her feelings, because I know that it does, and it's very helpful.
Yes, I love collages with magazines are my favorite. Thank you, Mom. I love you too. Collages, I paint. Like I said, my art project, I didn't want to tell anybody, but I told people already. I'm working I love the troll movie. Like Princess Poppy is my spirit troll or something, you know? And trying to make them a little garden, and I'm trying to show what I think society is. And it's going to be fun and interesting, and we'll see where it takes me. Thank you, Mom, for the call.
Thank you, ma'am.
Nice meeting you.
Did she hang up? She hung up. This was fun.
Well, like Amanda said, I would like to say there's 3 parts of a human being: the body, soul, and spirit. And the soul is made, of course, according to the Christians, the soul is made up of the mind, the will, and the emotions. And I would just like to say that the spirit is like electricity gives a house light. The spirit gives people life, you know? And I would like to say, if you're confused about spiritualism, look into it, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all might find it very interesting.
There is, sorry, I don't mean to
Go
interrupt,
ahead,
but
go
there's
ahead.
Celebrate Recovery at the Bayou.
Yes. I've been
Every
hearing about
Monday, I forgot the time, but if you look it up on the Bayou.
6:30.
6:30, okay.
I believe.
I used to go when I wasn't feeling good, and I stopped, and I'm about to go back, but I have to start making a schedule. Okay, every Monday I'm gonna, or try to go, just to be around other people that are struggling with different things, you know. So
Wow.
that's a nice place. That church was very kind to me. The people there, I made a few friends. Hey, Whitney. Soccer buddies for life. I don't know if she's watching, but you can continue.
Well, celebrate the recovery at the Bayou Church.
At the Bayou, they
Where
have-
is that?
On Kali Saloom, it's that big, it used to be a skating rink, across from American Freedom Car Wash, I believe.
Okay. Well, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to check it out. Lafayette has a lot to offer. There's, and I would suggest this isn't a go to church show. I go to church, and I believe, I'm not into religion, but I believe into Jesus and into spirituality. And I think if you would dwell into it, it could help you out. It has saved my life, even though what I go through is one of the worst of all the mental illnesses. It is so fearful, and you think so haphazardly, huh, Amanda, with random thoughts.
Yes, people in high school used to say, "You're so random," and I took that on. I'm like, "Yeah, I'm so random," and I didn't know why.
Right.
My brother, we used to write a book of silly things Amanda used to say, and they were pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I had some amazing questions about this world.
Yeah.
That's what
So
I was confused
that's
about a lot
healthy.
of things, but I had a lot of questions.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we hope y'all have enjoyed the show. We haven't covered autism too much on this show. We will have Amanda back. If you